Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing my process in how I drew this beautiful blue-violet iris in coloured pencil. I drew this piece using a mixture of Faber-Castell Polychromos and Caran d'Ache Luminance colour pencils, and it is drawn on Clairefontaine Pastelmat. I chose to draw this on light grey pastel mat just because I thought it would be a really nice complement to the blue tones in the flower. Pastel mat is far from one of my favourite surfaces, but it does have some really great qualities, especially when it comes to blending, which I will demonstrate as we go through the video. So the iris that I'm working on has two main large petals, so I decided to work on one at a time just so that I can get a feel for the colours and then my process of working, and then I can transfer all that over to the second petal. So I started by marking out the most prominent veins first, those really dark features, just so that I can have a little bit of a mark point, and I marked these out using my dark indigo Polychromos pencil. So this is where we start to move into a little bit of a messy stage in the drawing. So this is one of the qualities I really like about pastel mat, the fact that I can be really quite messy with my base layers. So all I'm doing here is I'm blocking in the most prominent colours, starting with my lights using some ultramarine violet and some light cobalt blue, and then I'm going in with those really dark, vibrant, bluey purple tones. So here for those really dark, vibrant tones, I started with a base layer of dark indigo, and then I layered some helio blue reddish over the top. And then just so that this doesn't turn into too much of a blue flower, I still want some violet aspect to it, I layered some violet over the top as well, mixing it in with the blue. And I used varying pressures as well, quite a light pressure around where the light is touching the petals, and a little bit more pigment in those deeper shadows. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty of pigment down on the surface. So the more pigment for that initial base layer, the better. It's going to be a lot easier for your base layers to blend, and it's also going to make the colours a little richer as well. So I went over with another couple of layers, making sure I've got plenty of pigment down ready for the blending process. So this is where I start to blend and fuse all those colours together. I'm using a little solvent here, just a tiny amount on my cotton bud. This is basically odorless mineral spirit. I like to use Zest-It pencil blend. It's one of my favourite brands to use for blending pencil pigment, and you really don't need an awful lot of this, just a tiny amount on your cotton bud or Q-tip, just dabbed on a spare sheet of paper so you don't grab too much of this. And then I gently push this onto my pencil pigment. I always start with the light colours first to avoid bleeding any darker colours, and I very, very gently just take my time blending all of those colours together. So when it comes to blending the light colours near the darker, richer colours, I make sure I'm extra careful here. So I'm just applying some really gentle dabs and a few small circles as well. This also helps to keep things nice and soft. So as you can see here, the solvent is starting to eliminate the pencil grain and fill in the grooves of the paper. So we've got a super smooth base layer that we can now build upon. So I start by going back in with my darkest colours first. This is the dark indigo, and I work on the shadows, sometimes with a sharp point and sometimes with a slightly blunted point, so that I can start to build up a little bit of detail as well as just block in basic shadows. And then I do the opposite with my lights, and I go straight in with a white pencil, just simply drawing subtle, soft shadows over the top of all those darker colours, just so that I can mark out those really subtle creases that lie within the iris's petals. And this is something that's really satisfying to do. Drawing white over dark coloured pencils is not something that you normally can do in most coloured pencil processes, but because of the blending process that we did for our initial base layer, it does make this so much easier to achieve. So once I've gone in with my white pencil, just marking out where the light is catching, those subtle creases, I then go back in with my dry cotton bud and I just try to smooth out some of the pencil texture and just soften some of the lines that I've created. And then I go back in with the other colours that I've previously used, the blues and the purple tones, and just richen up the colours and start to tidy things up, so adding a few more details and amplifying up some of those richer tones. And then for the centre of the flower, I used some ivory and cream to mark out the general base layer. And then I went in with some olive brown 50% just to mark out the fluffy texture that we have there. A little bit of solvent just to blend things along, but I also added some dark sepia as well to amplify the shadows and some white to pull out the highlights in those fluffy details as well. And then it's time for some details, so I went in with a nice sharp point to pull out the veins that protrude from the centre of the flower, and also to add a little extra crispiness to the creases around the edge of the petal. And here I'm using my craft knife to just scrape away a little bit of pigment so that when I go in with my white pencil, it makes those lines a little bit more opaque. So a little bit of tweaking and tidying here, then we can move on to the second petal. And then I completed the same process for the second petal. So if you are interested in following along to the full tutorial, you can find this over on my Patreon membership channel. The tutorial is all in real time from start to finish, nothing missed out or sped up. And I talk you through literally every process, every colour choice, everything as we go from start to finish. And I also include the line drawing, including split line drawing so you can easily pop them into your printer, ready for transferring using whichever method you prefer, the materials list, and also the reference photo. And you'll find this along with many more tutorials, including a lot more flowers, botanicals, birds and other wildlife. So for the light part of the flower, I started out by blocking in the main veins and creases and the really dark shadows at the bottom. Then I started to introduce some of the other colours that I could see in the centre of the flower. Again, I'm being quite rough with my base layer, but I'm making sure that my pencil is sharp as well. The sharper the pencil, then the more pigment you're going to get down, because you'll start to fill in the grooves of the paper with the point of your pencil. So it always helps to have a sharp point. So I'm starting to build up some of the shadows that I see within these lighter petals. So right in the very centre of the flower where the shadows are deeper, I'm making sure to introduce some of my blues and purple tones, a little grey as well, just so that we can keep things a little dull because the colours are naturally duller in shadow, and a little solvent here and there just to smooth things along. So the petals in the top half of this flower are really pale, they're almost white, and they are reflecting some of the colour from the blue petals, so I did want to make sure that the blue is reflecting in these white petals. So I richened up some of the shadows with more of my blues, my purples, and obviously dark indigo as well. That's the main dark blue that we've been using to really amplify those shadows. Here I'm just filling in a little bit of a bluey purple petal which is peeking from behind. So this is just more of the same process that I used for the main two petals. For the green tones of the stem, I kept things fairly simple. So I used some earth green yellowish for the base layer and added in a little moss green for the darker parts and some chrome oxide green for the really dark parts, including the veins. And then I just applied a few layers to blend and fuse the colours together. Lots of sharp pencils again to get into the grooves of the paper, and then just tinted the overall green with a little bit of cream and terracotta. So finally moving on to the light part of the flower, I wanted to keep these shadows nice and subtle but still quite apparent as well. So instead of going in for a straight grey tone to block in the shadows of white, I wanted to make sure that I was still reflecting some of the blue in there. So I opted for bluey toned greys, such as the Cavendish Luminance Payne's Grey 30% and 60%, and also the Steel Grey and a little ultramarine violet as well. So I blocked in my shadows just really gently and just very subtly built up those grey tones within the shadows. And then I went in with my white pencil, not just to brighten up the highlights, but also to smooth out some of the pencil texture. And here I wasn't afraid to apply a firm pressure in the brightest highlights, and then a much softer pressure near the shadows so that we can get a nice soft transition. All the time not forgetting to go back in with my purple and blue tones just to amplify and tint some of those shadows. And then I'm just going through the usual tidying up process that I go through at the end of every drawing. So casting my eye over everything, looking at where I can add in little bits of extra depth with my dark pencils. Crisping out the edges is another thing that I do quite a lot of in my drawings. Looking at where I can tweak some highlights, maybe make the rich colours even richer by applying more pigment, and maybe adding some extra details in the form of really soft veins and that sort of thing. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful, or even just found some inspiration to draw a beautiful flower. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.